Today I'm going to try something new. We're going to start a new segment called Whiskey News and Rumors. I'm going to try and do this on an every 2-week schedule, and I hope you guys like it. So let's get started. If you've been paying attention to whiskey lately, bourbon, Scotch, Japanese, Irish, you might have noticed something feels different. For years, whiskey felt unstoppable. Prices climbed, shelves emptied, distilleries expanded, and rare bottles turned into trophies. But over the last month, something has shifted, and the headlines are starting to reflect it. Today, we're breaking down the latest whiskey news from the past month, why some of the biggest producers are hitting pause, what this means for collectors, drinkers, and the industry, and finally, the rumors and whispers about what's coming next month and into early next year. For nearly a decade, whiskey has been riding a massive wave. Bourbon especially exploded, driven by collectors, secondary markets, social media hype, and limited releases. But in the last month, multiple reports have confirmed what insiders have been quietly saying. The whiskey market is cooling. Scotch whiskey, oversupply, and tariff pressure. Scottish producers are now publicly acknowledging oversupply issues. Distilleries expanded aggressively during the peak demand, but global consumption, especially in the key export market, has slowed. And in lingering tariff pressure, inflation, and shifting consumer habits, suddenly warehouses are fuller than expected. Several Scotch producers have announced production slowdowns, delayed expansion plans, and reduced output for 2025 and beyond. This isn't a collapse, but it is a correction. One of the most shocking headlines this month, if you've been paying attention, you've already heard this, but it's still big news. Jim Beam halting production at one of its major facilities for an extended period. Jim Beam isn't a craft distillery. It's a global powerhouse with generations of forecasting, inventory, planning, and market dominance. So why the pause? The reasons: excessive inventory built during peak demand, slowing sales in core markets, consumers drinking less but better, younger drinkers shifting toward cocktails, RTDs, tequila, and moderation. This move sent a clear signal to the industry. Even the giants are adjusting expectations. Several publications this month highlighted trends that are shaping where whiskey goes next. Ultra-aged and transparent age statements. Consumers want clarity. Age matters again, and producers are leaning into it. Smaller formats, 375 milliliter and premium tasting sizes are growing fast. Drinkers want variety without commitment. Experimental finishes, but done right. Wine, sherry, rum, and Japanese oak finishes, when done thoughtfully, are resonating. Sustainability and craftsmanship. Sourcing, water usage, barrel reuse. These stories are no longer niche. New audiences, brands are actively courting. They're looking for younger drinkers, women, and pop culture connected consumers. Not by dumbing down whiskey, but by reframing how it's presented. So now let's get into a little bit of the rumor mill. None of this is confirmed, but these rumors are circulating heavily among retail buyers distributor reps, brand ambassadors, and serious whiskey forums. And interestingly enough, some of these bottles are already showing up on internal distributors' calendars, just without names attached yet. And some of these rumored releases are, in Scotland, there's mounting chatter about legacy distilleries quietly prepping cask strength releases that aren't tied to annual core lines. Glenlivet is rumored to be sitting on several higher proof single casks following strong reception to their recent limited editions. Glendronach insiders are hinting at a return to older Oloroso. Wow. I've tried that one 5 times, and I think I got it. Oloroso? I'm hoping. Oloroso heavy profiles. Possibly with a cask strength and minimal filtration. So we'll look for that one. Talisker has been mentioned repeatedly in Islay adjacent forums. Not necessarily peated experiments, but coastal maturation variations, another tough one, pushed well above standard bottling strength. Nothing labeled yet, but the rumors are out there. If you're into Scotch, there could be some cool shit coming our way here real soon. Moving on to experimental whiskey. On the American side, the rumors are more daring. Several Kentucky and Indiana producers are said to be experimenting with peated malt, smoked grains, and heritage corn varieties, not as novelty releases, but as serious limited runs. Heaven Hill has been quietly running small test batches with non-traditional malt bills, likely intended for future Heaven Hill Select or distillery-only releases. Brown-Forman, specifically within the Old Forester experimental program, is rumored to be revisiting smoked malt projects that they shelved years ago. Westland and Balcones, already known for pushing boundaries, are said to be preparing heavily grain-forward, cask-driven releases meant to compete. Why are there so many tongue twisters in this one this time? Meant to compete directly with Scotch drinkers. These aren't mass market plays. They aren't meant to challenge palates. The big ones, aged American whiskey, perhaps the loudest whispers are high age statement American whiskey. We're talking 12, 15, even 18-year American barrels that have been aging quietly while the market chased younger releases. Wild turkey rumors center around older barrels tied to Jimmy Wilson era stock, possibly reserved for a special early year announcement. Barton 1792 is said to be sitting on mature inventory that could surface under a premium label. And NGP sourced brands, particularly those with deep warehouses, are rumored to be preparing limited releases with transparency labels and real age statements. That's going to be pretty big. I see that one as pretty big because a lot of times on those MGPs, we're not seeing accurate age statements. They're close, but they're not really what we want to see out of them. If these land, they could reshape the premium American whiskey conversation overnight. Now, for seasonal and cultural drops. There's also strong chatter around international editions creeping into the US market. Lunar New Year releases from brands like Johnnie Walker, Chivas, and Hibiki may see broader US distribution instead of Asia-only availability. Festival exclusives, especially from Scotch distilleries, tied to Fis Isla, I hope I got that right, are rumored to be offered through limited online drops rather than distillery-only access. Japanese producers like Mika and Mars are rumored to be expanding select international bottlings stateside, though likely in very small quantities. So the limited releases are still going to happen. They'll be blink and you'll miss it releases. So grab them quick. Finally, the most important whispers aren't about bottles, they're about strategy. Across the board, insiders are suggesting fewer releases, not more. Delayed launches to avoid consumer fatigue, which could actually be good. I know that there's times that I just burn out because there's so many new ones that are coming out. I can't keep up with them all. So this might be a good thing. And a pivot towards education, provenance, and storytelling instead of endless SKUs. Distilleries are reporting trimming annual release schedules in favor of fewer, stronger, and more meaningful drops. So if this proves true, we may be seeing the early stages of a more disciplined, more intentional whiskey era, one where quality and narrative matter more than volume. And if even half of these rumors come true, next month could be very interesting. So what does all of this mean for you? If you're a drinker, you'll likely see better bottles stick around longer and prices stabilize. If you're a collector, true rarity will matter more than hype. Provenance and quality win. If you're just getting into whiskey, this might be the best time in years to explore without pressure. Whiskey isn't dying. It's just growing up. That's the news. That's the rumors. Hopefully everyone liked it. If you did, please hit the like, subscribe, and share this video. I'd greatly appreciate it. I hope this is something that sticks around. Going over the news was kind of neat. Some of it was because ChatGPT helped me with it. Some of it was just more speculation and talk amongst, the distilleries about how they feel about things. I'll try to crop some of that stuff out for the next time, but get to actually the news. We'll see what we can come up with. As always, drink responsibly. Long ashes and full glasses to each and every one of you. And we'll see you in the next video. Glendronach insiders are hinting at a return to older Oloroso